Hey, Matt Hamilton, author of Through Travel and Air, Confessions of an Asylum-Seeking Canadian. Welcome back to my online readings. Today it's Chapter 6, The Prague Experiment. This chapter is going to, I guess, do two things. One, it's going to expose one of the geekier aspects of my personality, as well, and more importantly, expose one of the benefits of traveling alone. It was something that I was not aware of, and this chapter was the experience it took for me to realize that what true freedom really was about. Anyways, I hope you enjoy Chapter 6, The Prague Experiment. Aren't you a little short to be a stormtrooper? The question stopped me dead in my sandals. I slowly turned around and discovered a girl sitting on the bar counter in Hades Hideaway's groovy in-house pub. She repeated her question, pointing to the stormtrooper logo on my t-shirt. I said, "Aren't you a little short to be a stormtrooper?" The Galactic Empire's foot soldier is easily recognizable to any fan of the Star Wars films, but there are many who don't have a clue what a stormtrooper could possibly be. Unfortunately for my libido, the majority of those who don't know or care are women. I'm fully aware that Star Wars represents the childish and nerdish side of my personality, but nonetheless, it is part of who I am. I'm a devoted Star Warian. Star Wars was a part of my childhood foundation. In fact, Star Wars was such an integral part of my upbringing that I would subtly quiz first dates to gauge their Star Wars knowledge and thus determine compatibility. Answers such as that little green thingy or the scary guy in the mask pretty much guaranteed there wouldn't be a second date. Although perhaps my asking the questions in the first place was the reason there was never a second date. So when this mystery girl not only correctly identified the stormtrooper on my shirt, but also used a quote from the movie to do so, she had me hooked. She was even more captivating because the quote she applied was appropriate. I am too short to be a stormtrooper. I had to know this girl. And yeah, that was really all it took to spark a conversation, and we went for a nice little walk on the beach, and yeah, it was my typical cheesy self, and yeah, we had I had my very first kiss on the travels right then and there. However, Stacy was gone the next day. She was flying off to Amsterdam. But before she left, she said that I'm going to be in Amsterdam for a few days and then going to Prague. Why don't you come meet me? And with a kiss, she was gone. And, well, I thought about it, but, you know, what am I going to do? I'm down in Greece, and I had a bit of a plan. So we'll pick up the story now as I'm contemplating Stacy's invitation to Prague. However, as much as I would have loved to meet Stacy in Prague, it wasn't possible. I'd been in Greece for 2.5 weeks, and all that time was spent in Corfu. Rather, all that time was spent at Hades Hideaway. The place was a lazy trap. Set right on the beach, this warm weather hostel was the perfect setting to do nothing but relax and work on your tan. During my moments of baking in the sun, I had planned my next few months of travel. I planned to trek through the rest of the Greek Isles and then make my way into Turkey. From Turkey, I'd continue on to Israel and most likely find work on a kibbutz. After a couple months of working, the plan would be... Hold on a second. What had really been planned? I hadn't bought any tickets. I wasn't meeting anybody. Turkey wasn't going anywhere. Israel should still be there. In fact, I had only made this plan to travel the Middle East a couple days ago. Just because I had haphazardly planned to go to Turkey and Israel didn't mean I actually had to go. I certainly didn't have to go now. It dawned on me that nothing was set in stone. Until it actually happened, everything was just a possibility. Wasn't this the selfishness and freedom I was searching for? I had the power to do what I wanted, when I wanted, where I wanted, with whom I wanted, for however long I wanted. I had spent a great night with Stacy. I'd also been told Prague was a beautiful and romantic city. It was a fantastic place to be with a girl. Did I need any more reason? Nope. I was going to Prague. And yeah, I was going to Prague, but as most things in life, it was easier said than done. As I mentioned, this place was a debaucherous alcoholic trap. So leaving the place was impossible to do so without a hangover. And the first leg of this 48-hour marathon to Prague involved an 8-hour ferry ride to Brindisi, Italy, which left at a god-awful time in the morning. Needless to say, that segment was a write-off for this drunken slob. And then I had 40 hours on a train to look forward to. Needless to say, by the time I arrived in the Czech Republic, I was delirious as a monkey. And I don't know how I did it, but somehow I was able to find an apartment and passed out. Woke up, felt a million times better, but then realized I had a new problem in my hands. I didn't know where Stacy was, and for that matter, she didn't even know that I was in the Czech Republic. So this is where we'll pick up the story. Now that I was in Prague, I had my second problem to tackle. I had to find Stacy. I got dressed and went for a walk to get my bearings. To my pleasant surprise, I discovered that our apartment was indeed very close to the city centre and the famous statue-adorned Charles Bridge. I found an internet cafe nearby and sent Stacy an email. "Hey there, Stacy, you convinced me. I'm in Prague. Where are you staying? I've got an apartment, 295 Yugoslavic. Come by anytime. Otherwise, I'll try and hook up with you at a bar called Joe's, which is on the north side of Charles Bridge. I'll be there between 8 and 11 tonight waiting for you. I can't wait to see you. Your Stormtrooper." Told you it was cheesy, man, sorry. All I could do now was wait. And wait I did. I sat at Joe's from 8 until 11 drinking Budvar and watching each face as it entered the door. Unfortunately, there was no sign of Stacy. When she didn't show by 11, I decided to stick around a few more minutes, just in case she couldn't find the place or was running late. No luck. She still hadn't shown by half 11. I decided to call it a night and go back to the apartment. As I walked home, I questioned my decision to drastically alter my plans for a girl I had just met. After all, I had only spent one night with her. Yeah, she had said, "Come meet me in Prague," but was she actually expecting me to come? Maybe she wasn't that into me. Maybe she was just whispering sweet nothings in my ear. Maybe she knew that nobody in his right mind would leave the warmth of the Greek Isles to travel for 48 hours to the opposite end of the continent to see a person they just met. Maybe my being in Prague would actually freak her out. And if my uncertainties about coming to the Czech Republic weren't troublesome enough, Prague was fucking freezing. I got back to the apartment a little after midnight. The brisk and lonely walk had given me time to clear my head. I had eliminated all negative thoughts and scenarios and accepted that what was done was done. They say that things happen for a reason. Therefore, for whatever reason, my travels had brought me to the Czech Republic. I'm here, I thought. I might as well make the best of it, with or without Stacy. If anything, coming to Prague proved that nothing on this trip was finalized. I had a complete freedom and liberty that I had never experienced before. Despite coming from a free country, I didn't have this type of absolute independence at home. I had commitments and responsibilities. I had bills and debts. I was, in essence, a slave to the system. I decided that as far as worst-case scenarios are concerned, redefining and truly understanding what freedom could be wasn't that bad. I was about to shut off the lights and go to bed when I heard a faint knocking at the door. Could it be? I opened the door to find a smiling Stacy, who threw her arms around me and gave me a huge hug and kiss. "I'm sorry that I missed you at Joe's," she apologized. "I only read your email an hour ago." She looked at me with her big brown eyes and asked in a very seductive tone, "May I come in?" I had a feeling that Prague was going to be a very romantic city. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not one to kiss and tell. Well, certainly not in this book. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that chapter, the Prague Experiment. As I mentioned, it exposed my devoted passion and love of Star Wars, as well that until it actually happens, nothing has happened. It is all just one big scenario. If you are interested in finding out more about myself or the book, please visit my website, Mad Maddie's World. Again, the book is Through Travel and Air, Confessions of an Asylum-Seeking Canadian. Google the title, my name, you should be able to find it everywhere online. Until next week, have a great one. Look forward to seeing you then. Bye-bye.